Yeah, good morning, everyone, and welcome back to PPS Theory Sessions. So in last 3 sessions, we have already started functions unit, and we are looking at user-defined functions. What is UDF, user-defined function, why we need it, and how we can write it. We had gone for the elements of the UDF, like function declaration, function call, function header. What is function declaration, call, and definition? We have also seen the syntaxes, and in last lecture we had seen number of examples for user-defined functions, along with all these 5 different categories also. So no argument, no return value; with argument, no return value; no argument with return value; and both, and so on. Now, if you want to return multiple values, then we need to go for pointers, and that we are going to see in unit number 7. So at that time, you'll be more clear with pointers. Now, after that, we have also seen the what is the return statement and what it can do. Whenever you write a return statement, it is going to send the control back to the calling function. जहाँ पे भी return statement execute होगा, वहाँ से function return हो जाएगा. So if anything that you write after return statement, it is not going to be executed. Now you can have more than one return statements, but you can return one value using return statement. Okay. And after that, we have seen parameters or the arguments, actual parameter and formal parameter. The value that we send, जो value हम भेजते हैं, that's the actual parameter, actual argument. And on the other hand, the variable which is going to receive that value is called formal parameter or the formal argument. Okay. And we have seen this example, and in yesterday's lecture, we had seen number of arguments and all, right? Along with this, we have discussed local and global declaration, even scope of a variable also, right? So next thing, let us see the different types of parameter passing. When we send a value, when we receive a value. So there are 2 different ways. The first one that we have already seen is the call by value or pass by value. We simply pass a value and the copy of that value will be generated on the other hand. Function के पास उसकी copy generate होगी. So if you do anything within your function, it is not going to affect your original data, because everything that we do inside a function will be done on copy of that data. उसकी copy पे आप operation करोगे, original data as it is रहेगा. That is call by value या तो फिर pass by value. आप parameter किस तरह से pass करते हो? You are passing that parameter by value, okay? Or you are calling that function by passing a value. So that's a call by value या तो फिर pass by value. Now, if you want that function to affect your original data, अगर आपको वहीं पे काम करना है, right? If you want to do work there, then just a minute. Vyom is saying my voice is not clear. Well, how about other students? Yep, clear. Okay. Yep, thank you, everyone. Let's continue. Vyom, you can test your internet connection. So the second part, the second way is if you want your function to affect your original data, आपको copy पे work नहीं करना है, आपको direct original data पे work करना है, then what you can do is you can go for the next type, which is pass by pointer. It is also called pass by address, or it is also called call by reference. Okay, it's a reference. Now, reference is nothing but the address of your variable. And again, that can be done with a pointer. Okay, and we are going to learn pointers in unit number 7. So in that unit, pointers unit, you are going to you'll be much clear with what is call by reference, pass by address, pass by pointer, and all. Okay. So at present, you can easily understand call by value, pass by value, and all the examples that we have seen already are the examples of call by value. Now, call by reference, we will see in the unit number 7, not right now, but we will see one example which indirectly is a call by reference, but आपको वो अभी दिखेगा नहीं. It means you cannot see it is actually called by reference, but it is called by reference. We'll see that example just in a bit. So there are two types, or there are two ways you can call a function and you can pass your parameters. First one is pass by value, second one is pass by pointer. When you do pass by value, it is going to generate a copy. When you do pass by pointer, it is going to refer the original data. Okay, so let us see a few examples of both these things. We'll start with the pass by value. So in pass by value, copy of the value will be generated. Copy of the actual parameter will be generated, and it will be sent to the formal parameters. Okay, so your function is going to work on a copy, and it is not going to affect your original data. That's what I've already told you. So when you call add function and when you pass ABC, then the value of A, B, and C will be passed as a copy to that function. And inside that function, whatever you do, that will be just a copy there. Okay, we had seen this example in previous lecture also. If we declare variable D inside main as well as other function, then that is a local variable. It is not going to affect any other variable. Similarly, like that, ABC is inside main. Add function के अंदर वापस ABC ले लो, फिर भी वो उसके local variable हो जाएंगे. Formal parameters are always local to the function, remember. Right? So it is going to be the copy of the actual parameter, and actual parameter will not be changed. Right? Whereas if you go for pass by pointer, then it is going to pass the address of actual parameter. वो उसकी कॉपी जनरेट नहीं करेगा, वो एक्चुअल में उसी का एड्रेस दे देगा. दिस इज वेयर द डेटा इज. आप यहां से एक्सेस कर लो, इस एड्रेस पे आपको डेटा मिल जाएगा. यू कैन एक्सेस योर डेटा एट दैट एड्रेस. तो फिर फॉर्मल पैरामीटर जो है उसके पास क्या रहेगा? उसके पास डेटा नहीं रहेगा, उसके पास एड्रेस रहेगा उसका. Whenever you want to use data, you have to refer that address. Right? So when you call a function, then called function is going to directly work on the original data because उसके पास address है. It is going to work on the actual data, original data, actual parameters. And because of this, we can change the value of actual parameters here because we are referring to the same data here. So remember, when you say it's passed by pointer or called by reference, when you are going for pointer or a reference, you are actually accessing the original data. Now, this indirectly helps us returning multiple values because return statement तो एक ही वैल्यू रिटर्न करेगा. लेकिन अगर मैं पहले से 4 वेरिएबल का एड्रेस पास कर दूं फंक्शन को, और वो फंक्शन सारा कुछ कैलकुलेशन करके उसी एड्रेस पे नया डेटा स्टोर कर दे, तो जैसे ही मैं वापस आऊंगा मुझे नया डेटा मिल जाएगा. So indirectly we can say we can return a multiple values using function using pointers when we call a function. Now the question comes, how we can have the address? How we can have the address of any variable, any data. So that's why we have ampersand sign. Now at the time of scanf, मैंने आपको बताया था कि it is actually going to give you the address. So ampersand is the address operator, and it is going to give you the address of a variable. Ampersand a लिखोगे तो वेरिएबल ए का एड्रेस आपको मिलेगा आपकी मेमोरी में। वेरिएबल ए कहाँ पे स्टोर हुआ है? इट इज गोइंग टू रिटर्न द एड्रेस ऑफ दैट वेरिएबल इनसाइड द मेमोरी. So ampersand A, ampersand B, ampersand C, it is going to give you the address of A, address of B and address of C. अब यहाँ पे हमने ए बी सी की वैल्यू पास नहीं की, हमने यहाँ पे ए बी सी के एड्रेस पास किए. सो व्हेन वी सेंड द एड्रेस एट द अदर एंड, फंक्शन के पास वो एड्रेस स्टोर करने के लिए पॉइंटर वेरिएबल होना चाहिए. ओनली इन दैट केस इट कैन कैच एड्रेसेस. अगर आप छोटा बॉल थ्रो करते हो तो आसानी से पकड़ सकते हैं. अगर आप बड़ा बॉल थ्रो करते हो तो उसको पकड़ने के लिए भी कुछ अलग प्रोसेस रहेगी, राइट? You can catch small ball with a single hand, but if you want to catch a larger ball, you'll require both the hands. So something like that. अगर आप वैल्यू से सेंड करते हो तो सामने नॉर्मल वेरिएबल चलेगा, लेकिन अगर आप एड्रेस सेंड करते हो तो सामने पॉइंटर वेरिएबल चाहिए. Now, what are the pointer variables? We'll see it in unit number 7. So I'll say that's why I've written understanding of pointers will be there in the unit number 7. So at that time, we will discuss more about pass by pointers. As of now, अभी के लिए आपको ये याद रखना है कि if you are going for pass by pointers, then you can actually affect your original data. If you are going for pass by value, तो आप कॉपी पे वर्क करते हो, ओरिजिनल डेटा एज इट इज रहेगा. ओके, so that's pass by value and pass by pointer. Let us have a look at the example of pass by value. Now we have seen this in yesterday's multiple examples, and we have also gone through this example where what we do is we call add function and we pass two parameters a and b. Okay, these are actual parameters, right? Whereas we receive those values in x and y. So x and y, these are formal parameters. Okay. Now, if user is going to give you the value of a equals to 5 and value of b equals to 3, then this 5 and 3 will be copied inside the variable x and y. 5 and 3 यहाँ पे एक copy generate हो गया. Now in future, if you are going to change these two values of x and y, anything that you do, it is not going to affect your original data. 5 and 3 is going to be as it is. Now this is what the pass by value is. Okay, this is the pass by value. क्योंकि ए बी की अंदर जो वैल्यू थी वही वैल्यू कॉपी हो गई एक्स और वाई के अंदर. बट when you say it's pass by pointer, then what is going to happen is when you have variable a value 5 and variable b value 3, a is actually referring to 5, b is actually referring to 3. Now when you pass a pointer, so if you are passing address of a inside x and y, address of b inside y, then x and y will be pointing to that address, means x is also pointing to 5, y is also pointing to 3. So all these variables a and x both are referring to 5, b and y both are referring to 3. Now if using x you are going to change your value and using y you are going to change your value, then it actually affects the original value, and that's why when you access variable a and b, it will give you the updated value 2 and 1. So that's the pointer. It is going to refer the address. Okay, So I hope that for now, the basic understanding of pointer is okay. It is just a reference. It is not a copy. This was the copy, right? Any more doubt till now? Pass by value and pass by pointer, या तो फिर call by value and call by reference. Yeah, thank you. So this is the example of add two values and the same function we have generated yesterday. And this is something that has parameters as well as return value, right? So it has both, have some parameter and returning a value. It only creates summation of x and y and returns the result. That result we can catch in C and we can print that variable C within a main, right? So this is the pass by value. We are not looking at pass by pointer right now. Now that was the example of passing a simple variable. Now what if we want to pass multiple values to the function? Now coming to the query that in previous lectures multiple students have generated. What is the number of parameters we can pass? And at that time I told you there is no limitation on parameters. But if you go for more than 5 or more than 10 parameters, then it is not feasible. वो आसान नहीं है. And the alternate way is what we do is अगर वो सारी values same data type की हैं, then we can generate an array और हम array pass कर सकते हैं. अब जब आप array pass करते हो, then array is a single variable which contains multiple elements. तो आप जब एरे पास करोगे तो आप एक ही पैरामीटर पास करोगे, बट दैट पैरामीटर is going to be the type of array, and that's why we need to discuss it here. Passing an array to function, right? So it is possible to pass number of values stored in the array to the function. And how can we do it? So we just need the array name. Okay, we just need the array name without any index, without any size. Then it is going to be passing the entire array to the function. So अगर आपके पास एक array है a of 10, maximum size is 10 elements and it is integer type and the variable name is a, then you can pass that variable a array element array variable to any function by just referring your array name, only name. There is no need of square bracket after that and no need of any index there, right? Now the only thing is when you pass your array, so at the other end आप array receive करोगे, correct? अगर मैं यहाँ से array भेजता हूँ तो सामने मुझे array receive करना होगा. So inside your function definition and in array declaration, both, when you declare your parameter as an array, you need to have these square brackets. Okay, inside your declaration and definition आपको ये square bracket लिखने होंगे to just indicate my first parameter is the array parameter. Remember, मैं यहाँ से array पास कर रहा हूँ या तो फिर मैं यहाँ पे array रिसीव कर रहा हूँ. We need this square brackets. अब अगर वो डिक्लेरेशन है तो वेरिएबल लिखने की जरूरत नहीं. अगर वो डेफिनेशन है तो आपको वेरिएबल लिखना होगा, करेक्ट? एंड द अदर पैरामीटर इज द सिंपल इंटीजर पैरामीटर. फाइन. नाउ व्हेन यू पास योर एरे, अगर वो स्ट्रिंग है तो आपको पता चल जाएगा व्हेन योर स्ट्रिंग एंड्स व्हेन यू हैव द नल कैरेक्टर. जब लास्ट में नल कैरेक्टर मिल जाए तो आपकी स्ट्रिंग खत्म हो गई, आपको पता है. बट हाउ कैन यू डिफाइन दैट इंटीजर एरे इज ओवर? There is no way, there is nothing like termination of integer array. So along with the array, जब हम array पास करते हैं तो हम साथ में ज़्यादातर टाइम ये भी करते हैं कि नंबर ऑफ एलिमेंट्स पास करते हैं. So if we take n number of elements, तो हम n भी पास करेंगे so that inside our function हमें पता चले कि यहाँ पे हमें कितने एलिमेंट्स एक्सेस करने हैं. So A is the array, n is the number of elements. So we have received that array inside array A, and we have received the number of elements inside variable x here. Now once you have your function, you can do whatever you want. तो function के अंदर आप क्या करोगे? You are going to iterate that array and you are going to find the maximum element. And once you found that maximum element, you can return that element at the end because we have integer as a return type. So that's one example by which we can pass the array and we can do some process there and we can return that array. Now let's see one more example, passing an array to function. And let's say we just want to write our code here. And what is the definition given to us? It says that write a program to find sum of entered elements of array. Array के जितने भी elements हैं, वो सारे elements का sum करना है. Now normally we do that process inside a main. But now what it says using UDF. तो आपको एक function बनाना होगा which is going to do that thing for us. So normally what we do is we always start with hash include stdio.h and so on. And then we'll go for int main. And inside your main, you first declare your integer array A of, let's say 10. Correct? And you declare n also to ask user how many elements he wants to enter, less than 10. Fine. Let's say these two are the numbers we require. So first of all, we'll ask user to enter number of elements, right? So user is going to give you that number of elements. We'll scan it. So scanf %d ampersand n. So हमने user के पास से पहले element लिए. Now at this place, when you give a message, enter number of elements, it should be less than 10. So आप message डाल सकते हो less than 10 इस तरह से. So user is going to give you the number of elements. Then what we do is we run a loop and we are going to ask user to enter those elements. So to run a loop, we'll require one more loop control variable I, so that we can say that printf enter elements, and then you can run a for loop I equals to 0, I less than n, I plus plus, and you can scan that value, scanf %d ampersand a of I. So we scan all those values from the user. अब user के पास से जब एक value आपको मिल जाती है, right? Then what you do is to sum all those elements, we call a function, right? So what we do is let's call it ARR sum, array sum. We will pass entire array and we will pass number of elements here. And we are going to receive the final summation answer in sum. So we require one more sum variable here. Okay. So that at the end we can print sum is %d sum. And we are done with void main or int main. Okay. Now, if you want to declare your function, so function declaration कैसा होगा? Function type is integer, return type is integer because sum जो आप calculate करोगे वही आप return करोगे. So you are going to return your sum. Fine. Then your function name, it is ARR sum. And then you are going to have your parameters. अब first parameter जो है वो array है integer type का, so I'm going to have integer. Now this is declaration, तो मुझे array variable का नाम लिखने की जरूरत नहीं है. I'll simply say int square brackets. अब ये square bracket के अंदर size भी लिखने की जरूरत नहीं है, remember. So that's your first parameter, and second parameter is going to be simple integer and semicolon, because this is the function declaration. आप ये कहाँ पे declare करोगे? You can declare it before int main, तो global declaration हो गया. Now when you're going to define your function, तो आप क्या लिखोगे? Int ARR sum, parameter is going to be int. Now in this definition we require variable, so I call it A, and then to indicate it's the array, square bracket. And the second parameter is, second parameter is going to be integer n. Let me call n because ये तो locally हो जाएगा. No semicolon, but instead of that, we are going to have curly bracket to define function body here. Now when you do this, आपके पास array A आ गया, total elements n आ चुके हैं. What you have to do is, let us have local variable integer sum equals to 0 already, and then we are going to run a for loop. Now loop control variable चाहिए होगा, so let's declare I. Now this I is also local. This sum is also local to the function. So we can use for I equals to 0, I less than n, I plus plus, और हर बार मैं क्या करूँगा? Sum plus equals to A of I. ith एलिमेंट को हम sum के अंदर ऐड कर देंगे, and I've used shorthand operator plus equals to here. So it is equivalent to sum equals to sum plus A of I. Now once I'm done with this entire loop, I'm going to return sum. That's it. So we will return this sum. वो वापस आ जाएगा main के पास और main उसे print कर देगा. So that is the passing array to a function. Any doubt or query here? Any query? Okay. Now let me quickly show you something with array. Let's jump to the programming interface. We were working on this. So let me create a new file. This is the fifth one, function 5.c file, and let's work on a new example here. First of all, we'll have the same program that we have done just now. So let us have integer array of size 10, and number of elements will require n, will require loop control variable I, and will require sum to be printed. So we can simply ask user to please enter number of elements, and message डाल दूंगा less than 10, because we don't have capacity to have more than 10 numbers. Okay, so we are going to scan our number, so %d and %n. Now this n is going to work as the size of our array. So later what we'll do is again we'll ask user, we'll give a message. So please enter elements one by one, right? And then we are going to run a for loop for I equals to 0, I less than n, because we require total n number of elements, I plus plus, and inside that we are going to scan that value. So %d ampersand a of I. And then what we do is we want to calculate the sum. So sum equals to, we will call a function arr sum, where we are going to pass our array and the number of elements n, so that when we come back, we can print that answer, summation. Sum is %d, and we can print sum here, right? That's it. So let us define this function, and I'm going to define this function before I use it. So there won't be any need of declaration, but let's go for declaration. We declare our function arr sum globally here, semicolon. It is going to have two parameters. First one is integer array, and second one is normal integer. Look, in declaration, I don't have any variable name. That is the declaration. But जब मैं define करता हूँ, then I'm going to have integer arr sum. But at this place, int a और square bracket करना होगा, because this is definition, और definition में variable का नाम लिखना compulsory है, remember. And the second one is integer n. And then we create a body. We'll have integer sum, initialize it with 0 because unit number for summation is 0. And then we also require I, so that we can run a for loop here again. I equals to 0, I less than n, I plus plus, and we can go for sum plus equals to a of I. And then we return sum. Now that's the entire program, correct? So if I run this code and if I say that, okay, I need to have 5 elements, और one by one सारे elements को मैं 2 enter करता हूँ, 2, 2, 2, 2 and 2. So the summation should be 10. So we have that sum and 10, right? So that program works properly. Now, so whatever program we have seen in the slide in simple, right? तो ये हमने देख लिया. Now what I wanted to show you again, one more thing is, when you pass an array, आप जब एक array pass करते हो, then you have simply written a variable name here, but that is not a single value. That is actually the list of numbers, list of elements. तो आपको ये देखने से आपको ये लगेगा कि this is passed by value, but it is not. Remember, this is not. Let us see what happens if I do this thing. Instead of sum, forget about sum, or let's have both. After sum, let me print entire array, okay? And we are going to print it %d and space. तो एक लाइन में मैं पूरा array print कर दूंगा, fine? So what I want to do here is, within main I have taken that array, फिर मैंने एक फंक्शन कॉल कर दिया. So फंक्शन के अंदर जाके हम क्या कर रहे हैं, we are calculating a sum. Now when I do that sum here, Now before I calculate sum, let me change that element a of I equals to 3. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make all the elements equals to 3. लूप के अंदर मैंने a of I equals to 3 लिखा है, मतलब जितने भी एलिमेंट्स हैं सारे एलिमेंट्स 3 हो जाएंगे और उसके बाद उसका सम होगा. एंड देन वी रिटर्न सम. मैंने सिर्फ सम रिटर्न किया. ओके, बट व्हेन आई कम बैक हियर मैं सम प्रिंट करूंगा तो सम मुझे क्या मिलेगा? 5 एलिमेंट्स, ऑल आर 3, टोटल 15. सो सम मुझे 15 मिलना चाहिए. And then I print my original array. But we want to see what happens when I print my original array at this place. Okay. Just to remove that percentage sign from the end, let me have one slash n at the end of the program. That's it. Okay. So let's run this code now. I'm going to say, okay, we need 5 elements. And I'm going to enter 1. सारे के सारे एलिमेंट्स में 1 एंटर करूंगा. 1 1 1 1 and 1. See what happens. मैंने 1 1 1 1 करके पूरा एरे पास किया तो एरे यहाँ पे आ गया. अब आप ये सोच लो कि अगर ये लोकल एरे है तो लोकल एरे में मैंने 3 डाला और सम 15 हो गया. दैट्स ओके. तो 15 रिटर्न होगा एंड वी आर गोइंग टू प्रिंट दैट 15 बिकॉज वी रिसीव दैट 15 आंसर. तो सम तो 15 हो गया, वो प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. बट व्हाट इज माय ओरिजिनल एरे नाउ? a of I, this a of I, it also becomes 3 3 3 3 3 3 and so on, which means अगर फंक्शन के अंदर मैं एरे में कुछ चेंज करता हूं तो वो चेंज जो है वो मेरे ओरिजिनल एरे में भी हो जाता है. and that indicates when you pass array to a function, it is not called by value, it is called by reference. यहाँ पे हम एम्परसेंड नहीं लगाते हैं. then also it is going to pass the address of your original array. और ये आपको ज़्यादा क्लियर होगा अगर मैं इसका नाम ही बदल दूं. लेट्स से आई सेंड वेरिएबल a और यहाँ पे मैं रिसीव करता हूँ b में. सो वी नीड टू यूज दिस b हियर. ओके, और मैं टोटल एलिमेंट n सेंड करता हूँ. लेट अस हैव इट x, so less than x. Okay, and this sum, let us call it total. मैंने सारे वेरिएबल बदल दिए. Okay, and we return a total. So if we change everything here, then also it is going to give me the same result. अब आप बोलोगे कि सर आपने a सेंड किया, b में रिसीव किया, b को चेंज किया, a को प्रिंट करेंगे तो भी वो आपको चेंज मिलेगा बिकॉज दिस b is referring to your original array. Let's test it. I'm going, oh sorry, where do we have problem? Line number 1. Sorry, what? Let me save this file again and then test it out. Yeah, no problem there. Okay, so again I'll say I'll require 5 elements and all 5 elements are 1. Still you have sum 15 and all original array elements are 3. Now this indicates कि आप जब फंक्शन के अंदर एरे में चेंज करते हो तो वो एरे ओरिजिनल एरे रिफर होता है. and that's why we can say when we pass array it is going to be called by reference. Yeah, look, Viraj is asking if we enter 333 then there won't be any change because you enter 333 and our code is going to make it 3 again. तो आपको चेंज नहीं मिलेगा. इट इज गोइंग टू बी द सेम. आई जस्ट वांटेड टू मेक यू अवेयर दैट हमने 1 डाला फिर भी 3 क्यों हो गया, बिकॉज इट इज रेफरिंग द सेम एड्रेस. वो सेम एड्रेस पे चेंज करेगा. व्हेन आई अपडेट b ऑफ i, वो b ऑफ i सेम एड्रेस को रिफर करता है जहां पे मैंने 1 रखा है. So it is something like मैंने 1 रखा लेकिन ये फंक्शन आके उसको 3 कर गया. Okay, both are referring to the same address, both are referring to the same place. Other can change that value. Okay, yeah, Viraj, if we enter 000, then also it is going to make it 333. Doesn't matter what you enter here, it is going to make it 3 because we have hard coded value 3 at this place. हमने यहाँ पे value 3 को hard code कर दिया. Now how this kind of thing can help you? Let me very quickly, yeah, we have time. Let me very quickly show you the benefit of creating function and passing array. Let's say आप यूजर के पास से 2 array get करना चाहते हो. You want to take 2 arrays from user. Array A of 10 and let's say array B of 10. That is the maximum size. But we are going to ask user to enter number of elements for A and number of elements for B. Okay. So what you'll do here is आप सबसे पहले बोलोगे कि please enter number of elements less than 10 for A. Okay, and you take it in A and then you say please enter elements 1 by 1, and you are going to run a loop for I equals to 0, I less than n, I plus plus, scanf percentage d ampersand A of I. तो ये आपका वेरिएबल array A आ गया. अगर आपको सेम वे B भी लेना है, then you are going to copy and paste this thing. So you'll say now, you'll say that please enter number of elements less than 10 for capital B. And again आप n में ले लोगे size, and here you are going to say please enter elements 1 by 1, और ये scan करोगे आप कहाँ पे, B में scan करोगे, right? And then what you can do is you can print your A and B arrays and in let's say tabular form or however you want to do it. So let's say we print let's say we want to go for tabular form, so A slash T B here. Okay, and then we are going to run a for loop. Let's do the same number of elements for A and B. Let's do the same number of elements. So table can be equal number of rows. Table can have equal number of rows. That's why I keep n common here. So for I equals to 0, I less than n, I plus plus. And here you are simply going to print percentage d slash t percentage d slash n. And this is going to be A of I and B of I. Okay. So now what you can see here, if you want to take array A, तो एक बार loop लिख लिया आपने, and then if you want to take another array B, तो आप फिर से यहाँ पे loop लिखते हो. Now similarly, if you require total 5 different arrays, अगर आप 5 array get करना चाहते हो, तो ये कोड जो है आप copy paste 5 बार करोगे. Correct? If you want very array C, तो फिर से आप ये copy paste करके यहाँ पे C करोगे. Sorry. Right? Ampersand C of I and so on. So it is going to make your code lengthier, and it is something where you are repeatedly doing the same task. जो थिंग आपने ए के लिए किया, बी के लिए किया, सी के लिए किया, यू आर रिपीटिंग योर प्रोसेस. Now instead of this, what we can do is we can create a function. अब वो फंक्शन कुछ रिटर्न नहीं करेगा, so let's have a void return type, but we call it get array. हम उस फंक्शन को नाम दे देंगे get array. And then what we'll do is, अब array जो है मल्टीपल एलिमेंट्स के साथ होगा, वो वैल्यू मल्टीपल एलिमेंट्स की वैल्यू गेट करके रिटर्न तो नहीं कर सकता है. सो व्हाट इंस्टेड ऑफ पास बाय वैल्यू वी गो फॉर पास बाय पॉइंटर. और यहाँ पे मैं एक एरे ए ले लूंगा, वी कैन कॉल इट एक्स ऑल्सो, एंड वी आर गोइंग टू हैव द नंबर ऑफ एलिमेंट्स n. कितने एलिमेंट्स गेट करने हैं फॉर दिस एरे. And now what we do is we do the same process only once inside this function. फंक्शन के अंदर हम बोलेंगे प्लीज एंटर एलिमेंट्स वन बाय वन, और हम यहाँ पे इंटीजर i, सो i इक्वल्स टू 0, i लेस देन n, i प्लस प्लस करके वो एरे x को हम गेट करेंगे, परसेंटेज d एम्परसेंड x ऑफ i. So it is going to get all the elements in x. But now what you have to do is, आपको ये 3 लाइन लिखने की जरूरत नहीं है. You are simply going to call that function get array and you are going to pass your array. आपको अगर a get करना है तो a पास करो. Then अगर आपको b get करना है तो get array again call करोगे आप, and inside that you are going to pass b. Okay, so b के लिए भी आप 3 लाइन नहीं लिखोगे. Similarly, if you want to take variable c or array c, you are simply going to call that function, that's it. तो अब ये कोड आपने एक बार लिखा, but जब भी आपको यूज करना है, you can use that function to get the array. And this n can be different also. This can be 5, this can be 10. It can vary because you can pass that parameter separately, size of your array. So that's how these functions can help us in shorting a code, actual code. जो ये 3 लाइन हम बार बार लिखते थे, हमने एक बार लिख दी, and now we are simply going to call that function. So this will work. Let us save this code and test it once. Well, what it says, implicit declaration of get arr. Oh, this is get array, entire array. So let me call that function with a proper name, and then we can call that. So it says please enter number of elements less than 10 for a and b. मुझे दोनों के अंदर 5 एलिमेंट्स डालने हैं. So I'll enter 5 and then I call a function. It says please enter elements one by one. ये 5 एलिमेंट मेरे पास से मांगेगा. Let me give it 1 1 1 1 and 1. तो ये फर्स्ट एरे के लिए, एरे ए के लिए 1 1 1 1 1 एंटर कर दिए. Now it is asking me the second 5 elements because second time मैंने same function call किया. Now this time let me pass 2 2 2. So एरे ए के लिए मैंने 1 पास किया, एरे बी के लिए मैंने 2 पास किया. So it prints the proper column here. Under array A we have 1 1 1 1 1. Under array B we have 2 2 2 2 2 and so on. So this is how functions can help you. And जब यूजर कुछ देता है और उसी वैल्यू को आप ओरिजिनल डेटा में अफेक्ट करना चाहते हो, you want that value to be affected in the original data, then you can always go for call by reference या तो फिर pass by pointer. एरे के केस में याद रखना, जब भी आप एरे फंक्शन को भेजोगे, it is always going to be the pass by pointer. It is always called by reference. Fine. Now earlier Sohan has asked, sir, what is int 32, int 64, int 16? So these are the data types supported by compilers and operating systems. Depends on the compilers and operating systems. Why I say depends? Because we have discussed this thing earlier when we were discussing data types, integer. So 32-bit ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम में आपका इंटीजर जो है वो 2 बाइट का रहता है, लेकिन अगर 64-बिट ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम है तो आपका इंटीजर जो है वो 4 बाइट का हो सकता है. नाउ इफ यू ऑलरेडी नो कि जो वैल्यू आप स्टोर करना चाहते हो, ओके, जो वैल्यू आप स्टोर करना चाहते हो, अगर वो वैल्यू की इक्विवेलेंट बाइनरी 16 बिट में आ जाएगी, you do not require more than 16 bits. If you are sure about this, तो सिंपल इंटीजर वैल्यू डिक्लेयर करने के बजाय आप int 16 डिक्लेयर कर सकते हो. सो बाय डिफॉल्ट इंटीजर जो 4 बाइट लेगा उसके बजाय अब वो सिर्फ 16 बिट मतलब 2 बाइट लेगा. सो by using this kind of data types variables, you can optimize your program which can use less amount of memory. डिफॉल्ट 4 बाइट वो यूज करेगा, लेकिन हमने बोल दिया कि हमें सिर्फ 16 बिट चाहिए. So I only want 2 bytes. So that's something like int 16. So it is a 16-bit integer value. Int 32 is a 32-bit integer value. Int 64 is a 64-bit integer value, and so on. Okay. Yeah, so that was all about passing array to a function, right? Hopefully there are no more queries now. Now, before we end this session, let's quickly go through one more point. So the next point is C also permits nesting of a function. Nesting, which means main already a function ही है. You all know that main is a function. और हम क्या करते हैं, from main हम अपने function को call करते हैं. So main से function 1 call किया. Now you can change this thing. From your function 1, you can call function 2. From your function 2, you can call function 3, and so on. You can chain it, and it is possible. So one example, आप यहाँ पे देखो कि from main हमने add call किया. अब add के अंदर हमने add 1 call किया, और add 1 के अंदर हमने कुछ calculation किया. So remember, what you are doing is, from your main, you are going to add. From add, you are going to add 1. Now, in whatever path you have traversed, when you come back, you are going to use the same path in reverse manner. So add 1 से आप पहले add में आओगे, और add से आप वापस main में जाओगे. That's the path you are going to follow when you come back from function call. जब आप return होंगे तो आप कहाँ पे जाओगे? From add 1, वो जहाँ से call हुआ है वहाँ जाएगा. And from add, वो जहाँ से call हुआ है वहाँ पे जाएगा. Remember, this is going to be the return path. So you can call as many functions as you want from any place. आपको सिर्फ इतना याद रखना है, when you call your function, before that you have to declare it or you have to define it. And जो भी sequence में आप function को call करोगे, exactly same reverse sequence में आप वापस आओगे. So that's the nesting, or that's something that you can chain a function call. You can make a chain of function calls. Fine. So we'll stop here. What we have done today is we have understood what are the parameters and pass by value and pass by pointer difference. We have seen few examples of pass by value. We have passed entire array to a function, which is example of pass by pointer also. Indirectly, we have seen the references. Pointer नहीं समझा, लेकिन addresses से ये काम होता है, ये हमने समझ लिया. And then we have seen the nesting or the chaining of a function. In next lecture, we are going to see the recursive function call, and we will understand what is recursion. So that's all for today. Thank you. Thank you for being part of this session here, and see you in the next lecture then. Thank you. Yeah, Vishnu is asking, do we have to define all the function in the same order that we call? No, that is not needed, Vishnu. Declaration or definition can be in any order, doesn't matter. It is just that before you call, it must be declared or it must be defined. वो किसी भी order में हो सकता है, लेकिन before you call, you have to define it. Yeah, okay then. See you in the next lecture. Bye-bye.